Hey everyone, this is Ricky. I had this awesome analogy that came to me as I was outside. Tonight was actually a little bit rough. It's just one of those days where you just gotta cry, and I'm sure a lot of y'all have those days. And I was venting to a spiritual elder on the phone just about different things that I was feeling spiritually and with things going on around me and everything like that. So I was really discouraged. But my best friend, I had made something for her over the summer when I was home with my sister and her boyfriend, and it was like this little clay thing that was supposed to represent, okay, well, it was like clay sand with footprints in there, and I wrote that he is with you, and it was supposed to go along with the footprints, like, story, and I'm sure most of you heard of it, where, like, a guy was walking, and he saw his footprints in the sand, but then at some point he only saw like one set of footprints, and he thought it was his own and that Jesus had left him during the hardest times, but it turns out like Jesus was the one carrying him and those were Jesus' footprints and not his. So it was just really encouraging. And I was holding a journal for a friend because she left it in my car, and on her journal it had the footprint story. So it was good to go back and read that, and it was really encouraging after I had just had my spiritual breakdown, or just breakdown in general. So it was really good to read that. And I was standing outside, and it was kind of dark. It was around 9 o'clock, and it's completely dark outside, but the moon is out. And I was like, oh, the moon looks nice. And then I feel like the Lord really spoke to me, and just go with this analogy. It should make sense. Just go with it. So the moon's out, when it's dark for the most part, other than when is it a new moon where you can't see it? That time where you can't see the moon? Okay, whatever that is. I forgot what it's called. I don't know much about my science. Okay, whatever. Anyways, so the moon was out today, and it was really bright, and the whole sky is dark, and the only source of light from the sky other than stars is the moon. And the cool thing is, it can be seen all across the world, depending on weather and all that other stuff. But like, it can be seen, and it's the one like constant source of light coming from the sky. And you know how sometimes you can see the moon in the daytime as well, but it's kind of like not like hidden, but it's not as noticeable because there's all this light around it already, and it's just there also. But like when there's complete darkness and shadows and all this stuff, the moon is the source of light, and it's extremely bright when it's really dark. And I feel like that goes right along with the footprint story, as far as God being with us in darkness and carrying us and being the strongest source of light. And there's a song by Hillsong or Hillsong United, I don't know who sings it, but it's called From the Inside Out. And there's a line that says, everlasting, your light will shine when all else fades. And I thought that's just like what went through my mind when I was looking at the moon and seeing how constant it was. And it's like, I don't know what you guys are going through. There's a lot of darkness going on in people around me, and it's hard seeing it, but that just means, like, especially like with my Christian friends and family, it's like there's so much opposition, and it's like something that's extremely encouraging is that God is still on the throne. Like, He's there. He's with us even when we can't feel Him, even when we can't find Him, even when we don't feel His peace or His joy or anything like that. He's still with us. And those times where you can't see the moon during the month, those periods, it's like we know the moon is still there. Like, it doesn't like just disappear. Like, it's still there, and so it's like God doesn't just disappear. He's still here. He's still with us. And for the believers, He's still with us. Even for like non-believers, He's still pursuing your heart. He still loves you. His love never fails. His love is unending, and He still loves us, even for those who want nothing to do with Him. And I'm praying that He would just break through some walls and just really draw people's hearts to Him. And yeah, that's just one thing I'm definitely praying for. But be encouraged. I don't know what you guys are going through or what's to come. I know this walk is not easy, but you know what? It just makes heaven that much more worth it, and that much more beautiful and amazing. And it makes those days where He does bless us, and where there are those sunny days, those beautiful days, it makes them so much more worth it. And it just builds our character. Like, I've heard sermons about it, like by Francis Chan and stuff, where it's like, a lot of times we pray to get out of the struggle, but we should pray through the struggle and that God builds our character through it, because that's why he puts us through it. And there's that verse, James, 1:2-4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And, God works on our character through trials and tribulations, and it's like he wants to change us. He doesn't necessarily want to change our situation. It's not saying that he won't, but he cares more about changing us. And it's like we are changed through that. And KB, one of my favorite artists from Reach Records, in one of his songs, I think it's called Lion King or Brand New, it's off of his mixtape that I gave some of y'all. And he says, we don't pray for a lighter cross, but a stronger back. And that's very powerful. That's a very powerful statement. I know I've been praying, like, God, lighten the burden on some of my fellow brothers and sisters. And it's like, you know what? I got to pray for him to just strengthen them through this. And if he's giving them that much weight, man, I know that he is going to just do some awesome things in and through them. Like some of the stuff that I see people I love go through. It's like, why? But then it's like, man, God is going to do some awesome stuff. Like, you see what he did with Job and just people that go through so much stuff, like what he does to them, it's amazing. And I'm kind of like, wow, I must be really weak because I don't go through as much stuff. Not asking that I want to go through a lot of stuff, but Anyways, be encouraged, and I'm really encouraged, especially after seeing the moon. So go look at the moon when all this hurricane weather passes away and see how beautiful it is, and let that be a reminder that God is with you and he is strengthening you. And yeah, good night, guys.